And we get straight into it now to tell us what the international desk has coming up this week for us. We're speaking to SABC News International Reporter Ditaba Tsotetsi. Ditaba, a big week ahead for you. Of course, the G20 is taking place, and of course, a lot of focus will be on that. And we have to focus on Palestine as well. In fact, let's start there. We were tracking, of course, what's been happening with the refugees that had arrived in South Africa. But a great deal of news is building up around the ongoing crisis in Palestine. What are you looking at?
Indeed, Oliver, a big week ahead. Starting with the Palestine, the South African government is investigating how these Palestinians found themselves in South Africa. They want to get to the bottom of the issue, who initiated or arranged the arrival of these people here in the country. But we know the situation in Palestine, people are suffering there, especially the Gaza Strip. So that is the main issue that is happening now in terms of the Palestinians. Government is investigating to get to the bottom of the issue, and also because these people, we are told, they are here seeking refugee status. But we are not sure now whether they have applied for that status. And remember, if you apply for the status refugee in the country, it's a very tedious process. It's a bit long. Yeah. And we don't know, I mean, at this stage, you are not aware whether other Palestinians will also maybe pursue the same process of coming to South Africa. Yeah, it's very interesting in terms of what's going to happen after.
Yeah. There's a peace agreement in the DRC that's seemingly quite precarious.
Look, the DRC issue is very complex. Many agreements have been signed, but still the conflict will continue even after the signing of agreements. Yes, agreement between the M23 and the DRC government was signed yesterday in Doha. But it's very interesting to see how this peace agreement will last. We
know the terms of that agreement signed yesterday.
Not yet, Oliver. We are still trying to get the details of this agreement. But also it is interesting to see whether this agreement will bring the change in the DRC. Because you remember the DRC government is also blaming Rwanda that it is influencing this conflict in the eastern part of the country.
Yeah, and there was attempts by Doha to get both Paul Kagame as well as Felix Tshisekedi into the same room and have the negotiations happen at that level. Has there been any movement around that, and what influence would it have had on this peace agreement?
Look, previously it did happen. Kagame and Tshisekedi found themselves in the same room in Doha. But after that, we didn't see any change in terms of the conflict in the DRC. So they are also trying to bring them back again and have a sort of an agreement. So it's very interesting whether they will agree to meet again. But it did happen previously, so we are still looking at that issue also, yes.
Yeah, and of course, conflict and violence in the DRC is raging on, and of course that's exacerbating the humanitarian crisis that it finds itself under. What are you looking at there this week?
Many people have been displaced in the DRC. We can also talk about the Sudan. The conflict is still raging on there. And many people have been displaced, many people have been killed. So quite a very packed week ahead in terms of international news.
Yeah, G20, big one for you this week. What are you specifically hoping to get your head around this week?
Look, finally, the date has arrived. The summit is happening this coming weekend. We're going to start tomorrow with the Minister of International Relations, Ronald Lamola. We'll have a media briefing informing the public in terms of the state of readiness of the country. And also, we know, Oliver, that not many African leaders will be here, members of the G20. Yeah. Not all of them will be here. Xi Jinping is not attending. We know,
which is not unusual, by the way.
Exactly.
In fact, the only time all heads of state for G20 were ever in a meeting together was during COVID, when it was virtual.
Yes, when it was virtual, yes. It's very interesting. Why are they, or maybe are they snapping... the question will be, are they snapping the African continent? That is the question we're looking at, because even Trump, we know, he's not coming. He's not even sending any delegation. The Argentinian president has also announced that he's not coming. Instead, they are sending their prime ministers, foreign ministers. So we are looking at who will be in the country in the next coming few weeks.
Yeah,
in terms of G20s. But we start tomorrow with our international minister, Ronald Lamola.
Very interesting this morning. We saw Clayson Monyela put out that tweet correcting the narrative around Xi Jinping not coming, saying that Xi Jinping had not been to the United Nations General Assembly this year, didn't attend BRICS in Brazil this year, neither did he attend COP30 and the Asian gathering. In all those instances, he sent out senior government officials. So it seems like he's just not traveling. at the moment.
It seems like is the case in terms of Xi Jinping. Yes, he has not been traveling unless if maybe the event is in China.
Yeah.
In the past few months they had a Shanghai summit. He was there. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Why he's not traveling outside the country. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe even in terms of the G20, him not coming to South Africa, it's not unusual. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Really big week ahead for you and all the best. Of course, we're going to be talking throughout the week to get a sense of how these stories are unfolding and developing.